Hey YouTube, welcome to Veda Day number 13, and today I'm going to be doing a quick vlog about TTC abbreviations. So I am definitely guilty of this, and I know a lot of us in the TTC community who have been here for a while, we kind of do it unknowingly, and I get a lot of questions about what do certain abbreviations mean because we just talk in TTC lingo or pregnancy lingo, and some people are really lost about what we're talking about. So I thought that I would do a vlog about what all these different abbreviations mean, so that way I can just refer people back to this vlog whenever they need to know what certain things mean. So I'm going to run down the list really quickly, and yep, here we go. So you'll see 2WW, which stands for 2-week wait. The 2-week wait is 2 weeks after ovulation, and it's usually the most nerve-wracking time during TTC, which TTC is going to be technically at the bottom because it's listed is in alphabetical order, but it stands for trying to conceive if you haven't figured that out yet. So anyway, your 2-week wait is after you've inseminated, and usually that last week is when you're going crazy because it's getting close to testing time. AF is Aunt Flo, which is also known as menstruation. Some people also call her the red fill in the blank, or the red witch. So, yep, AF. Stands for artificial insemination, which the majority of us who are lesbians, that is the way that we inseminate. Artificial insemination, which is the opposite of NI, which is natural insemination, which is intercourse. Baby dust stands for really basically like good luck. Sticky baby dust is once someone is pregnant, then you wish them sticky baby dust for a sticky baby or a sticky bean, which is basically saying good luck and sending you well wishes that your pregnancy is happy and healthy a full 9 months and results in a baby. BBT stands for basal body temperature, and that is when you temp. So that's also short for temping. And that is when you check your temperature every morning before you get out of the bed, and you chart it on a chart or through an app, and it will show you clearly, once you get it down, your ovulation, when you ovulated, and it can also give you an early indication as to whether you are pregnant or not. BD is also known as baby dancing, and that is having sex. Uh, BF can stand for boyfriend or breastfeeding. BFN is a big fat negative, which is on a pregnancy test. BFP is a big fat positive on a pregnancy test. BH, when you're pregnant, usually in form stands for Braxton Hicks, which are practice contractions. Um, Cycle buddies, sometimes some people put CB. I don't see it very often, but a cycle buddy is someone who is either on the same day that you are on in your cycle or really close, like you guys might be testing together, or you might have started AF on the same day. You see, I integrate some of these words so that way you guys are learning along the way. So yeah, that's what a cycle buddy is. A cycle day is, say AF shows up, that's cycle day 1. So that would be the first day of your period, and then it goes all the way through till the end. So cycle day, most women are cycle day 1 through cycle day 28. Some women like me who have PCOS can go from cycle day 1 to cycle day like 50 or 60. So it just really just depends on your particular cycle, but cycle day is the cycle day that you're on. CM stands for cervical mucus, and those are the different cervical mucus changes that you have. So you'll see a lot of people reference egg white cervical mucus or creamy lotiony cervical mucus, and that is what that means. DH, for those who are straight, stands for darling husband or dear husband. DP, for those who are in partner relationships, and mainly those of us who are in LGBT relationships refer to our spouses as our partners if they're not married, or sometimes I call my wife my partner, but DP, darling partner, dear partner, significant other, yeah. DPO stands for days past ovulation. So say you ovulate and you've inseminated, most people say I'm 3 DPO or I'm 5 DPO, I'm 12 DPO, so on and so forth. EDD, once you're pregnant, stands for your estimated due date. That's basically when your baby could or could not make their arrival. Egg white cervical mucus, we already talked about that a little bit, but it usually shows up on forums as EWCM. Some people, when they post their pregnancy results, they put FRER, and that stands for First Response Early Results Pregnancy Test. FMU stands for First Morning Urine, and that's the urine that you should be using anytime that you're testing for pregnancy, and depending on which ovulation test you're using, it's usually first morning urine because it has the highest concentration of hormones. FSH is a follicle stimulating hormone, and that is used in a couple of different tests. So yeah, that's what that stands for. HPT stands for home pregnancy test. So if you take a HPT, you could have a BFN or a BFP. HSG is something that if you're going to an RE, which we're going to cover later on in this list, is for hysterosalpingogram. It's a mouthful. Hysterosalpingogram. And that is a diagnostic procedure or test that you go into that checks to see if your tubes are blocked. IUI, which a lot of us, after trying home inseminations, we then went to an RE and we did an IUI. And an IUI is when you, your RE or your doctor, your midwife, whoever's doing it, will insert a catheter into your cervix. It goes to the top of your cervix, and there's little prongs, and it releases the sperm, releases the hounds. You can also do an ICI. ICI is intracervical, and it is the same effect as if you were a straight couple and you were baby dancing, and it's just really right around the cervix. A quick note that if you're ever inseminating, you should not insert unwashed sperm into your cervix, into your uterus. It has a lot of proteins on it, and it can make you very, very sick and crampy, and you may have to end up going to the hospital. So that's just a TTC note. Let's see where I am on my list that I jotted down. IVF stands for in vitro fertilization. That's where they do egg retrievals. You take hormones, egg retrieval, they fertilize the eggs with the sperm, and then they I cannot think of the exact term, but they basically put your eggs back, how many ever fertilized embryos, they replace them back into your uterus. LH is a luteinizing hormone, and that is when you are using OPKs. OPKs are a ovulation predictor kit, which we will get to later on, but it detects whether you are getting ready to ovulate or not. That is a hormone that is released. Luteal phase, or known as LP, is how many days between ovulation and ant flow. So those are usually the days that are like DPO, but it's your luteal phase. MC is listed on some forums, and that usually refers to a miscarriage. Morning sickness is MS, morning sickness. Ovulation is usually O, so most people say that I owed today, and that's ovulation. Ovulation induction is OI, and that is when you're taking injectables or something like Clomid, Femara, those kind of medications that have you ovulate. OPKs, like I mentioned earlier, are ovulation predictor kits. You usually pee on a stick. Those are usually the smiley faces, and it will tell you if you are ovulating or if you're getting close to ovulating. Pee on a stick, POAS. Those of us who have been in the TTC community know this term very well. We usually have pee on a stick syndrome. So we love to pee on a stick and see if we're pregnant. Yes, and some people take it to the extreme. So yes, PCOS is polycystic ovarian syndrome. It is a really complicated term, but if you've ever gotten diagnosed with that, then PCOS, that's what it is. What else? PP, once you've had your baby, usually stands for postpartum. RE is a reproductive endocrinologist, and that is also known as a fertility specialist. It's someone that you go to help you get pregnant. You can go to them if you don't have fertility issues, just to kind of get a fertility workup. Or for those of you that are like me and have fertility issues, you would go to a fertility specialist to get on medications that induce ovulation, and you could also have them perform an ICI or an IUI. Semen analysis for those of you who are straight or those of you who are LGBT, because they put the sperm under a microscope and they see what the motility level is. And motility is basically how many swimming sperm there are, how many sperm are swimming around in a circle, or how many are dead. And they can multiply that number and determine the semen motility count, and that's a semen analysis. If you're ever on any TTC forums, you might see TCOY, and that is a book called Taking Charge of Your Fertility. If you look back at my TTC vlogs really far back, my list of books there, the book link is there. If you can't find it, then leave it in the comment section below and I'll give you the link. TMI, we all know what that means, too much information, but sometimes some people don't know those terms. Tubal reversal is when you've had your tubes tied and then you get them untied. It's the same thing as a reverse vasectomy. TTC is trying to conceive, and US stands for ultrasound. So those are the basic TTC terms. So I hope that helps those of you who are just starting on this journey, or those of you who are just like, I have no clue what these people are talking about. And for those of us who have been in the community, let's just keep an open mind and remember that not everyone knows what these terms mean. So we have to make sure that we explain some things sometimes, and I will make sure to get better with trying to explain some of my abbreviations, because I think that we can say a whole sentence in TTC lingo and people who don't know are probably like, what in the world? So yeah, that is my Veda Day number 13 blog. Tomorrow I will be bringing you guys my postpartum must-haves, since I am about out of my postpartum period. I'm going to bring you guys all the things that have been really helpful to me during this postpartum period, because I know some of you are getting really close to having your babies. So yeah, I will see you guys tomorrow. And if you are Facebook friends with me and you have a YouTube page, please go to my roll call status update and add your YouTube username. I have some new subbies, some YouTube friends, and even my sister that is going to be starting to TTC, and I want to get everyone included in the community. I don't want anyone to be left out. So let's all network and go to that status. And if you don't, if you aren't already friends with us on Facebook, then I will put the link in the comment section below. So I'll see you guys tomorrow. Thanks for watching. Bye.